Have you ever stood up from a chair, heard a little creak in your knees, or felt just a bit more fragile than you used to? Maybe you've noticed you're a bit more cautious stepping off a curb or reaching up high in the kitchen. You're not alone. After 60, our bodies start whispering to us, sometimes louder than we'd like, and our bones, in particular, need a little extra care. But here's the good news. It's never too late to strengthen them. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just make a few smart shifts that help you stand taller, feel stronger, and move with more confidence. You see, aging doesn't have to mean brittle bones or living in fear of a fall. Our bones are living tissue, constantly renewing themselves, even in our later years. And while it's true that bone density tends to decline as we age, that decline is not something we're powerless against. In fact, there are 4 key things your bones absolutely crave after 60. And once you give them what they need, the difference in your everyday life can be incredible. In this video, we're diving into exactly what your bones are asking for, naturally, without harsh medications or complicated routines. Whether you've already had a fracture in the past or you just want to stay as mobile and independent as possible, this is for you. And don't worry, this won't be filled with medical jargon or impossible advice. We're going to keep things simple, friendly, and something you can start doing today. Let us begin with something that might surprise you: how much your diet still influences your bone strength at this stage of life. Most people associate calcium with milk and maybe a supplement or two, but your bones need more than that. They're hungry for a whole family of nutrients. Think of it like this: if calcium is the brick, then other nutrients are the cement, the rebar, the whole support structure. You can get vitamin K2 in fermented foods like natto, but also in things like eggs, cheese, and some meats. And don't forget magnesium. This unsung hero is responsible for activating vitamin D, another key bone nutrient. Without magnesium, your body can't properly use vitamin D, and that means calcium absorption takes a hit too. It's all connected, and when one part is missing, the rest can't do their job. But it is not just about what you eat. It is also about what you do each day. Your bones need movement to stay strong. And no, you don't need to be lifting weights at the gym or running marathons. Gentle weight-bearing exercises like walking, gardening, climbing stairs, or dancing in your living room can send powerful signals to your bones to keep renewing and strengthening. Think about it. Our ancestors didn't have gyms, but they used their bodies daily. That natural resistance, that daily movement, was what kept them solid. One of the most common myths I hear is that resting more helps protect you from fractures. And sure, rest is important, but too much rest? That's when things start slipping. When you sit too long, your bones stop being challenged, and when bones aren't challenged, they weaken. It's a slow process, but over time, it adds up. Just adding small bits of movement into your routine, even a few minutes at a time, can make all the difference. A walk around the block, stretching while you watch TV, or using light resistance bands can all help. Now here's something a lot of people overlook: balance. Your bones can be strong, but if your balance is poor, one wrong step can undo all your hard work. And let's be honest, after 60, a fall isn't just a stumble. It can lead to serious injury, long recovery times, and a loss of independence. The key here is prevention, not reaction. That is why working on balance every single day, even for just a few minutes, is one of the best things you can do for your bones. And no, you don't have to be doing yoga on one leg or anything too tricky. Simple routines like standing on one foot while brushing your teeth, walking heel to toe along the hallway, or doing gentle Tai Chi movements are incredibly powerful. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Your inner ear, your muscles, your joints, when you challenge them, they adapt. They grow stronger. And that means fewer falls, fewer fractures, and more freedom. Let's also not forget how much hydration plays a role in bone health. It might sound odd at first. What does water have to do with your bones? But dehydration affects everything, from how well your joints move to how stable your muscles are. And when your muscles are tight and your joints are stiff, guess what suffers next? Your stability. That is why drinking enough water, especially as we age and don't feel thirst as strongly, is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to protect your body. Now that we've unpacked some of the foundational ideas around what your bones need after 60, you might already be thinking about a few things you want to change or try. That's great. Awareness is the first step. You don't have to get everything perfect overnight. Maybe today it's adding one more glass of water. Tomorrow, it's a short walk. And the day after that, it's choosing a piece of cheese instead of a sugary snack. Tiny changes, repeated daily, lead to big results. When you start thinking about your bones, the way you think about your muscles, something you can strengthen with daily effort, it changes the way you approach aging. You go from fearing a fall to building the kind of confidence that lets you move freely and joyfully through your day. And that brings us to another crucial element your bones absolutely need after 60: sunshine. Yes, that golden light that streams through your window every morning can be one of your best allies. Why is that? Because of vitamin D. Your body produces vitamin D when your skin is exposed to sunlight, and this vitamin is essential for calcium absorption. Without it, all the calcium you're reconsuming, whether through food or supplements, might not actually be making it into your bones. Unfortunately, as we get older, our skin becomes less efficient at making vitamin D, and many people over 60 end up deficient without even realizing it. Now, this doesn't mean you need to bake in the sun for hours. Just 10 to 15 minutes of gentle morning sunlight on your face, arms, or legs can be enough, depending on where you live and your skin tone. If you can't get out much, talk to your doctor about a supplement, but whenever you can, let your body soak up a little sunshine. It lifts your mood too, and let's be honest, we could all use that boost. While we're on the topic of joy, let's talk about something that often gets ignored when we discuss bone health stress. Yes, emotional stress. It might not seem like it connects directly to your bones, but it does. Chronic stress leads to higher levels of cortisol, a hormone that, when elevated over long periods, actually breaks down bone tissue. That's right, stress can silently weaken your bones, even if you're doing everything else right. So how do you manage that? It's not about eliminating stress completely. Life happens, after all, but learning to respond to it differently. One of the most powerful habits you can build is taking just a few minutes each day to pause and breathe. Deep breathing, meditation, prayer, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea and no distractions can calm your nervous system and help your body reset. You might think, that sounds too simple to make a difference. But it's these gentle, consistent habits that truly shift your health over time. Think of stress like water dripping on a stone. One drop won't do much, but over weeks, months, and years, it can wear away even the strongest surface. Your goal is to stop that slow erosion, to give your body a chance to restore and rebuild, rather than just survive. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something more active: posture. You probably don't think of posture as part of your bone health routine, but let me tell you, it's one of the most powerful tools you have. When you stand tall, your spine is aligned properly, your joints are stacked correctly, and your weight is balanced. This means less strain on your bones and a lower chance of falls or injury. Poor posture, on the other hand, does the opposite. It puts extra pressure on your spine, hips, and knees, and over time, this can lead to bone pain, weakness, and even curvature of the spine, which shortens your stature and reduces lung capacity. You don't have to walk like a soldier, but practicing awareness of how you sit, stand, and move can make a world of difference. One easy trick: imagine a string gently pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Roll your shoulders back slightly and take a breath. That's all it takes. Do that a few times a day, especially if you've been sitting for a while. And you'll start to feel the change, not just in your bones, but in your energy and confidence. Speaking of sitting, it is worth reminding ourselves that our modern lifestyle, with lots of sitting and screen time, isn't doing our bones any favors. The human body was made to move. When we're inactive for long stretches, not only do our muscles weaken, but our bones stop getting the stimulation they need to stay strong. Think of bones like the frame of a house. If they don't have the support of strong beams and movement, they start to weaken. But remember, this doesn't mean you have to suddenly become an athlete. Small actions are your best friend here. Try standing up every 30 minutes during the day, even just to stretch or walk to the kitchen. Use the stairs instead of the elevator. Do a little dance while brushing your teeth. It sounds silly, but these moments add up and give your bones the signals they need to keep growing strong. We also can't ignore how sleep factors into all of this. Sleep is when your body heals. It's when your cells repair, including those in your bones. Poor sleep has been linked to lower bone density, and it also increases your risk of falls because you're more likely to feel tired, unsteady, or less focused during the day. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene, like keeping a consistent bedtime, avoiding screens before bed, and winding down with a calm routine, can support your entire body, bones included. And finally, let's talk about the power of connection. You might not see the link at first, but feeling connected to others, whether it's through family, friends, community, or a shared hobby, has a huge impact on your health. People who feel isolated are more likely to skip meals, move less, and experience higher levels of stress, all of which take a toll on your bones. On the flip side, when you feel supported and engaged, you're more likely to take care of yourself. You eat better. You move more. You laugh. You live with more intention. So reach out to a friend, join a local group, or find an online community where you can share and connect. Even a simple phone call can brighten your day and remind your body it is worth taking care of. When you think about aging well, we often focus on the heart, the brain, and maybe the joints. But your bones? They're like the silent heroes always supporting you. Literally, yet we rarely give them the attention they deserve until something goes wrong. But here's the good news. By being a little more intentional now, you can protect your bones, avoid painful fractures, and keep living the active, independent life you love. One of the most essential ingredients for strong bones, especially after 60, is protein. Yes, you heard that right. While calcium usually gets all the attention, protein is just as vital. Your bones are made up of about 50% protein by volume. That means if you're not getting enough protein, your bones can't maintain their strength and structure. It's like trying to build a house with not enough bricks. Many older adults unknowingly eat less protein as they age, either because of appetite changes, dental issues, or just sticking to old eating habits. But here's the truth. Your need for protein actually increases as you age, not the other way around. Your muscles and bones both rely on it to stay strong and functional. Think about this. Every time you walk, climb stairs, or even carry groceries, your muscles are tugging on your bones. That pressure is what tells your bones, hey, we're still needed here, stay strong. But if you're not fueling your body with the right building blocks, your bones can't respond the way they're meant to. That's why protein-rich foods like eggs, fish, yogurt, beans, chicken, and even protein shakes if needed, should be part of your daily routine. Now, if the idea of cooking a big protein-heavy meal feels overwhelming, don't worry. You don't need to eat a steak every day. Start small maybe, add a hard-boiled egg to your breakfast or some Greek yogurt as a snack. These little shifts add up and your bones will thank you. Let's also touch on a daily routine that sounds simple but is often overlooked: hydration. Believe it or not, staying hydrated plays a role in your bone health. Water helps transport nutrients throughout your body, including calcium and magnesium, two minerals your bones crave. When you're even mildly dehydrated, everything slows down digestion, circulation, even nutrient absorption. Plus, being dehydrated can make you feel lightheaded or dizzy, increasing your chances of falling, which is the last thing your bones need. If you've ever stood up quickly and felt a little woozy, there's a good chance you weren't drinking enough water that day. And as we get older, our thirst signal becomes weaker, so it's easier to miss the signs. So keep that glass of water nearby throughout the day. Add a slice of lemon or cucumber if it makes it more appealing. Even soups, herbal teas, or water-rich fruits like oranges and cucumbers can count toward your total. The goal isn't to overthink it, just to stay consistently hydrated so your body and bones can do their job. Now, earlier we talked about movement, but there's a special kind of movement that deserves its own spotlight: balance training. After 60, one of the biggest risks to your bones isn't just thinning, it's falling. A simple slip can lead to a wrist fracture, a cracked rib, or worse, a broken hip. And a hip fracture, especially in older adults, can lead to a long recovery and a loss of independence. But here's the hopeful part: falls are often preventable. And one of the best ways to reduce your risk is by practicing balance exercises daily. I'm not talking about standing on one foot on a tightrope. I mean gentle, safe movements like standing near a chair and lifting one leg slightly for a few seconds. Or walking heel to toe across a room, focusing on slow, steady steps. Even simple yoga poses or Tai Chi movements can work wonders. The key is consistency. Just 5 minutes a day of balance work can retrain your body to be more stable and responsive, reducing the chance of losing your footing in a real-world situation like stepping off a curb or reaching for something overhead. And the bonus? These exercises also help strengthen the muscles around your joints, giving your bones even more support. You'll not only move with more confidence, but also feel more in control of your body. While we're working on the outside, let's not forget the power of mindset. How you think about your health deeply affects your actions. If you believe that getting older means getting weaker, you might unconsciously stop trying. But if you view aging as an opportunity to become wiser, more intentional, and yes, even stronger, you're more likely to adopt healthy habits that protect your bones and your whole body. I've met people in their 70s and 80s who are stronger, more mobile, and more energetic than they were in their 50s. How? They chose to take care of themselves. They moved their bodies, ate with purpose, stayed curious, and refused to settle into the idea that aging means decline. You can do the same. Every time you reach for a water bottle, stretch your arms, go for a short walk, or prepare a meal with love, you're telling your bones and yourself, I'm still here, and I'm still thriving. That kind of attitude fuels everything else. There's one more powerful thing to consider: your environment. The place where you live, move, and rest can either support your bone health or quietly work against it. For instance, slippery floors, poor lighting, and cluttered spaces increase the risk of falls. If your bathroom or kitchen has hard edges or low lighting, a minor stumble could become a major injury. But these are things you can change. Simple upgrades like grab bars in the shower, non-slip mats, better lighting, and clearing walkways make your home safer. And making these changes isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It's saying, I want to keep living independently and confidently. And that's a beautiful goal. So far, we've talked about some of the most important ways to protect your bones as you age: movement, sunlight, calcium, vitamin D, protein, hydration, balance exercises, and even the power of mindset and home safety. Now let's bring it all together with one final, powerful piece of the puzzle that's often underestimated: rest and recovery. Yes, sleep. It might sound surprising, but the time you spend resting is just as important as the time you spend moving. Your body does most of its repairing while you sleep. That includes rebuilding bone tissue, strengthening your immune system, and balancing hormones that are directly tied to bone density like growth hormone and cortisol. When sleep is shallow, disrupted, or too short, your body can't complete those essential repairs. And over time, this lack of recovery adds up. You might notice it first as fatigue, then slower healing, and eventually weaker bones. So if you've been brushing off your poor sleep as just part of getting older, it's time to rethink that. Start by creating a relaxing bedtime routine. Lower the lights in the evening, avoid screens an hour before bed, and make your sleeping space cool and quiet. Gentle stretches before bed can also help relax your muscles and joints, preparing your body for deep healing rest. And don't forget your mindset about sleep matters too. Instead of stressing over it, treat it like a gift you give yourself. Say, "This is my time to recharge, to support my bones, to take care of me." That simple shift in attitude can work wonders for both your brain and your body. At this point, you might be thinking, this is a lot to remember, and that's okay. You don't have to change everything overnight. What matters most is that you start. Just one small step in the right direction can begin a chain reaction that transforms your health. Maybe tomorrow morning you step outside and feel the sunlight on your skin for a few extra minutes. Maybe you add a handful of almonds to your breakfast for some calcium. Maybe today you fill a water bottle and keep it close by as a reminder to stay hydrated. Or you walk slowly through your hallway practicing balance for 30 seconds. These are small actions, but they matter more than you realize. Because aging well isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up for yourself consistently, intentionally, and with love. You've already come so far. And by choosing to care for your bones today, you're choosing a future with more strength, more freedom, and more joy. Imagine being able to take that vacation you've been dreaming of without worrying about tripping. Or playing with your grandkids on the floor, and then getting back up with ease. Or simply walking through your garden or grocery store without a second thought about stability. These moments of independence aren't just lucky, they rebuilt on the habits you practice each day. So here is the heart of the message. Your bones need you to believe in their strength. Feed them well. Move them gently. Give them sunlight, water, protein, rest, and balance. In return, they'll support you literally for all the years ahead. And remember, this isn't about chasing perfection or being the perfect senior. It's about honoring the body you've lived in all these years. It's about making choices that support you, rather than slow you down. Because you deserve to live with strength, stability, and confidence, no matter your age. Now I'd love to hear from you. What small step are you inspired to take today for your bone health? Drop a comment below and let's cheer each other on. If this video gave you a helpful nudge or a new idea, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more people like you find this content. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for more encouraging, practical tips on living your best life after 60. You're not just aging, you're thriving, growing, and living with intention. And that deserves to be celebrated every single day. Here's to your strength, your health, and a future full of confident steps forward. Take care and keep moving forward with purpose.